I retired at 30 years old with just $500,000 in 2020. These are the words of Purple, the author of the amazing blog, A Purple Life. There are 3 main elements that allowed her to retire at such a young age, and today we'll reveal all of them. What the heck? How is $500,000 enough to retire in such an expensive city like Seattle? When the average spending per person exceeds $3,000 a month, Purple is able to keep her monthly expenses at around $1,800 using these 3 budget hacks. But before we jump into the deep end, we have to answer this. Just who the heck is she?
Who is you?
Purple worked in the marketing and advertising industry. First, she lived in Manhattan, New York, then she moved to Seattle. One of her biggest reasons for financial freedom is to live a slightly different life. A life that involves constant questioning instead of going with what you're given. The first thing she questioned was why the heck should I invest in actively managed funds like everyone else? Which leads to the first element of her early retirement success, investing in index funds. She doesn't use a financial advisor because number 1, they often put their own interests before the clients. I know, so shocking. And number 2, they have a very, very high expense ratio. She explained in her blog that one of the funds that an advisor was trying to sell her had a base fee of 1.5% plus a 0.5% load, aka commission. Not to mention, the fund was underperforming the S&P 500 index. And Purple was all like, bish, I only pay 0.5% for my Vanguard Total Market Index Fund, VTSAX. And according to Purple, the advisor quickly gathered his bags and never contacted her again.
Back in China, they call me Chunky Chen Samu. Chunk, hit man 3, cross your dragon, hit your tiger. You know what time it is? Your rush hour. Rushing to go to the hospital, I will send you to Jesus.
Oh, think 1 to 2% of expenses, not a big deal. Boo, I got a whole section in my Investing for Beginners video talking about why you should care. So the first investment has a 0.05 expense ratio, and the second one has a 2% expense ratio. You both invest for 40 years. Let's see what happens.
What the fuck?
If you're new to investing, I recommend you checking out the full video where I explain everything you need to know in less than 7 minutes. Investing is great, but you cannot invest Bitcoins if you do not earn Bitcoins in the first place, which is the thing that she tackled next, increasing her income. And here are the 3 main points that she used to drastically increase her income in just 8 years. The first thing she did was picking a lucrative career that she could stand. It's kind of funny, but she picked advertisement and marketing because that was a career that had a high salary ceiling but didn't require too much time in specialized training. Purple did mention that you might earn a lower salary starting out, but then afterwards, salary increases and promotions can come quickly, which can be reflected in her income chart. So the second point is job hopping. And in Purple's experience, it's super hard to get a raise at the same company, even though if your performance is super good. So what we can do instead is go to a different company and ask for a 10 to 20% raise in your baseline salary. Purple switched a total of 6 different companies in just 8 years. And for her, she explained this as one of her biggest reasons as to why she's able to raise her salary so much. Third is knowing your worth and asking for it. So what she did is look at websites like Glassdoor or Indeed to see what other people are making in the same position so she wouldn't get cheaped out on. And if in the rare occasion your new company tries to match your old salary, Purple recommends you say these lines. So for the new position, I am looking for X dollar. And if that's out of the range for this new position, that's something we need to discuss. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much dough you're bringing into your pocket if every last dough is leaving your pocket, which brings us to her last strategy for early retirement, keeping her expenses very low at $20,000 a year, no matter her income. So Purple does give updated annual spendings, but like her most recent ones are very travel heavy since, she's already retired and she can go wherever she wants. But that's not very relevant for everyone else watching, so I chose her 2019 expenses to focus on. So this is when she was still working, so her living situation is probably very similar to fellow young adults watching. So in 2019, her annual cost of living is around $18,000. That's a lot of numbers, so we're gonna be here all day if we explain every single one. Let's focus on the big 3 expenses most people focus on their road to early retirement. So housing, food, and transportation. If you're able to get a few more money tips to use for your own financial journey, make sure to subscribe for more. For housing, Purple spends around $850 per person per month, which is a combined $1,700 with her boyfriend. But you know what? I really wish she was tell us a bit more about how she was able to get such a good deal on a top floor, corner, 1-unit bedroom apartment near downtown Seattle. Like how? So if anyone else knows any more details, please bestow your knowledge upon us. So the number 2 big expense she keeps at bay is her transit expenses. So she only spends around $9 per month on transit. And that is doable because number 1, she mostly walks everywhere. And number 2, she does not own a car and she wants to be car free for life. And number 3, she explains that she only takes the occasional Uber when she's feeling tired or lazy. Also, let's keep each other accountable and comment down below which money tip you will implement starting this week. Because first, we make the habits, then the habits make us. Power Habit 2012. So the last and third big expense she keeps low is her food bill. And this is her expense breakdown. And these are the top tips that she recommends. So the first one is to buy expensive things like meat on sale and in bulk. And the second one is to compare prices between different stores and shop at discount grocery stores. So if you're in Canada, I really like Freshco and No Frills. So the third thing is to buy only what you need by going to a grocery store on foot with a backpack. Because this really forces you to ask yourself, do I really want to carry those things on my back? Because my poor shoulders would like to stay inside their sockets. Thank you very much. As for the fourth item, it is another item that people often trip over with, which is dining out. And similar to Mr. Money Mustache, who also retired at 30 years old, Purple prefers to dine in with friends and family. And this is because she still gets to experience the wonderful, wonderful moments of connection at a fraction of the cost. First, by investing in low-cost, broad-based index fund of VTSAX, then increasing her income, and then keeping her expenses very low, Purple was able to retire at the age of 30 in 2020. And if now you're starting to think, hey, I want to retire in my 30s too, but I don't know where to start, help me! Don't you worry, internet friend. I have put together a playlist that teaches you how to get started in investing and how to retire in your 30s. Thanks for hanging out today. I'll see you over in this video. Okay, that's it.